It's Powerback time on the Gutsy Podcast, your 20-minute boost to reclaim and refocus your energy. Get ready to have bursts of clarity, a boost of confidence, and the practical steps you need to make gutsy moves forward. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. Why are we waiting until all the hard work is done to enjoy the things that actually fuel our energy? What if instead of waiting until the end or waiting until we achieve a milestone, we actually infuse the activities that fuel our creativity, increase our energy, and help inspire us to keep going as part of the process? Wild concept, I know, but so often we wait for our pleasure until we have proven our productivity. On today's Powerback episode, we are going to flip that script on its head and instead identify 3 activities that activate you. Simple yet very powerful things that when you do them, everything in your world gets better and easier. We're not waiting until the end to enjoy life anymore. Instead, we're going to make it part of the process. I want to first come back to a statement that I just made in that intro that I swear to you, I did not have written down. It came to me. I channeled it. It came into my head and out of my mouth. And I was like, fuck, that was really good. 1, write that shit down because it needs to go into the book. And 2, we need to talk about it. And this is the idea, the concept, that we have to wait for our pleasure until we've proven our productivity. And you know exactly what I mean by this. Like, we have to wait to enjoy things or to go on excursions or to be happy or to be in the moment or to celebrate our milestones or our moments until we have proven that we can achieve something bigger, something more, until we've checked off more things on our list, until we've made more money, until we've had more followers, right? Like, there's this forever moving fucking goalpost that once we achieve that thing, then we can start to enjoy the rest. Then we can be happy. Then we can be calm. Then we can be present in the moment. You and I both know that that thing is forever moving. Once we get there, it's like, do we actually stop and celebrate? Do we actually raise up and feel good about things? Or have we already created a new milestone, a new marker to work on and towards? And so therefore the one that we've achieved kind of means nothing. Or at the very least, it doesn't feel the way that we thought it would. Every week inside of Auraline, at the beginning of the week, I give the women inside this mastermind something to focus on, a bite-sized nugget, something for us to infuse, something for us to learn, something for us to look for, a way to help us stay focused, move forward, and enjoy the process. Working towards a bigger goal, making a pivot in your life or in your business, leveling up, it's not always puppy dogs and rainbows. Let's be honest. It's hard work. It's going against everything that your body has known up until this point. It's rewiring your system. It's changing your beliefs and your habits. It's getting uncomfortable, going after things that you've never had before, facing the parts of yourself that you've not faced yet. And so if we're constantly working on something, we're constantly working towards something, and we're never filling it back in, we're not enjoying things along the way, you are going to get burnout. Not burnout maybe because you've been working too much, but because you're just not connected as much. One of the recent focus activities that I shared with the gals inside of Auraline is identifying 3 things that activate them. And when I say activate, I mean benefit you. Raise your vibration, increase your energy, help you to reconnect with yourself or your vision or the things and people around you, stuff that inspires you, rejuvenates your soul or your energy, your body, your mind. It brings you joy. It makes you happy. It makes you smile. It makes you you remember why you're doing all these things in the first place. Maybe this thing helps you to feel grounded and safe and in control. We often wait until the end or until we achieve a milestone to allow these things to be part of our life. When in reality, we have to infuse it as part of the process. And when you do this, things fucking change. These activators are the fuel that help you to continue, that give you the much needed rest and reconnection to get back into it tomorrow. so that you can see, hey, you know what? I'm doing a lot of work. Maybe I got a little ways to go, but damn, look how far I've come. It helps give you perspective. This is allowing yourself to enjoy the life you've created and the one that's being created. It's saying, yeah, this is serious work. Yes, I'm locked in. Yes, I'm dedicated, but I'm going to choose, very important here, I'm going to choose to enjoy the process. And one way that you can do that is to identify things or activities that activate you. So the two kind of primary things to look for here is one, what fuels you? And two, how can you tell when you need it? I'm going to share my 3 with you, my current 3. By the way, these also grow and evolve with you and your needs. So this might stick forever and it might change next week. Let yourself shift with it. First and foremost for me is outside time. Not groundbreaking, not revolutionary here, but it's just my body's chemistry. I need outside time. In fact, right before I hit record, I just came in from outside. I know that my body needs to see sunshine. I need to look at the grass. I need to hear the birds. Listen, winter's rough around here. But even still, I will still walk outside when it's 20 degrees Fahrenheit just to get some fresh air. But now that it's spring and the color is returning and the birds are singing again, I can feel all of the hope of humanity returning into my veins. I can tell when I need it because my body communicates with me. I feel tired. I feel heavy. I feel like I'm pushing things up a hill. My creativity starts to tank, like my energy is off, I'm like, okay, I need to just step away from this drywall box that I'm in. I need to get out from underneath artificial light and I need to go outside. And the coolest thing about this is not a half a day. I mean, maybe sometimes it is, but for the most part, I think I just sat out there for, 10, maybe 12 minutes. That was enough for me to clear my mind, to reabsorb the energy that I needed and wanted, to let go of the energy that I didn't want anymore. And I felt so much better. Notice how simple this shit is, okay? I'm not talking about something huge or extravagant. These activators are things that you can easily infuse into your life, things that you can easily grab a hold of. Because the last thing that we need to do is try to infuse difficult things into something where you're already moving. It's going to keep getting pushed off or it's just never going to happen. My second activator are experiences. This one does sometimes take a little bit more orchestration, but again, nothing crazy or wild. I just know that in my life, I need experiences. I need to feel something. I want to watch, I want to learn, I want to see, you know what I mean? Like, I love immersive things. And I know that if I go too long without some kind of an experience, I just get disconnected from the bigger picture. Like I feel flat, I feel uninspired, I lack motivation. It's like, why am I doing all this? I'm just going with the motion. I love routine, but I hate routine. And I can tell when I've been in routine too long because I know that I need to break that routine to do some kind of an experience so that I can come back to my routine. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a complicated system, but it works. Experiences can be all different kinds of things too. Like that's the really cool part. My sister and I just went to the Bad Omens concert. I told you about that a couple of weeks ago. That was an incredible experience. If we can tap experience with intensity also, like a concert, man, I come back alive. But another really incredible experience that gave me just as much goodness, my husband and I went to a new coffee shop together. Like we just sat and we enjoyed the fun glasses that they gave us with these really, really thick glass straws. And the atmosphere was really beautiful. And we laughed and we talked and we shared stories and we people watched. And it was just lovely. We didn't get things to go. We didn't drink our coffee on the run while we're doing other things. Yes, we had other things to do. But you know what we did? We prioritized the experience, the time together. And we had such a great time. Experiences for me just add so much fuel back into my body. My creativity comes back online. I feel alive again. I remember why I'm working so hard. I remember why I'm working on and towards this, why my goals are so important, because when I do my work, I get to have more experiences. And when I allow myself to have more experiences, I do better work. The system feeds itself. And my third one is movement. Non-negotiable. When I am a sad, stuck potato, I feel like a sad, stuck potato. Okay. My energy gets stagnant. My creativity goes offline. I am a little bit saucy, but not in a productive way. If I have been still or stuck for too long, and this includes not leaving the house for long periods of time, I am a sad potato. It's just not a good look. Okay. So I know for myself to keep my brain sharp, to keep my energy moving, just to like get my whole chi system, moving again, I have to move. And sometimes that's standing up in between meetings and doing some jumping jacks or twisting my body around and slapping my arms. Sometimes it's a little dance party. It's absolutely prioritizing going to the gym. If I don't move, I'm not a good person. My ADHD calls up my depression, calls up my activation of misophonia. And all of a sudden we've got this party happening that I don't want to be invited to. I've had to learn this about myself. I didn't already know this, but I started noticing, if I stack too many things back to back during the day and I don't move, I'm not as sharp. I don't feel as good. But when I prioritize 3 to 5 minutes of movement, it's like everything gets easier. And when I get a good gym session in, gosh, I never realized how essential that was for my body. I fought that for a long time. I didn't think I was a gym person. I didn't want to drive to it, all this crap. And now it's like, I stuck with it long enough to realize the benefits. And this is true for so many things. We have to stick with something long enough to realize the benefits. And that's what these activators do. They're like little bursts of self-care, little bursts of love, little bursts of energy, moments where you give yourself permission to step away from the work, to disconnect from technology, to get away from the day-to-day, to maybe step out of your routine and infuse in things that just naturally support you. If I waited until I achieved all of my goals to go to another concert, I would be a miserable person. But stepping away and going to a concert and staying overnight and coming back the next day, that break away from my office, that time to just be Laura with my sister, gosh, that has added so many creative hours where I have just poured in incredible stuff. My content is sharper. I feel like the last few Powerback episodes have been really punchy and meaty and supportive. Things are working easier. You know what I mean? Can we say it was just because of that one thing? Maybe, maybe not. But I can tell you that it had a direct effect on it. In case you need a few more thoughts or ideas, I thought I would share a few of the activators that some of the gals inside of Oreline shared with me. So one of them said, taking 10 minutes to do breathing exercises in the spring air. She's infusing this as part of her routine, as part of her process, not waiting until the end, not, a nice to have someday, but no, this is actually something that supports me. I'm going to take a moment or maybe a few moments out of my day to go outside, do my breathing exercises that I know that works, and I'm going to pair it with the outside that feels great now. Chef's kiss, 10 out of 10. Another one of the women said, I am absolutely going to be outside playing in the dirt, literally physically grounding, being out in the sunshine, planting something, very metaphorical. We've got coffee dates with best friends. We've got prioritized date nights. We've got acupuncture or getting a massage, right? These are all things that nourish the body. Do you see how this adds so much value? The biggest shift is in the way that you think about these things. Not as a benefit, not as a cherry on top, not as a nice to have, not as a someday, but instead making it part of your process, infusing it into your day, recognizing and really, really noticing how when you do these things, or one of them, or some of them, or all of them, how it impacts you, how things get easier, how ideas flow to you better, how you're actually way more productive in substantially less time, how much happier you are during the process. Your homework for the day is to define 3 activators. Your 3 activators. Let them be simple. Let them be things that come naturally to you, things that you have access to, not something you're striving for, not something that, someday down the road you'll be able to do, but things that any one of these you could pick up and do today or this week. First, define what those things are. What are the activities that fuel you, that help you to feel grounded, that add energy back into your body, that help you feel reconnected or inspired? It makes you happy, rejuvenated, alive again. And then, this is really important, identify how you can tell when you need it. Best case scenario is we're being proactive. We're just infusing this as part of the routine, but until it becomes a new normal, we might have to have some indicators to know, hey, I really need this. This is when I need to step away. This is when I need to infuse one of my activators. So how can you tell when you need one or all of these? What's it feel like in your body? What's happening to your mood? What are the thoughts that happen in your mind? What do you notice is getting more difficult or harder to focus on? If you can identify these markers, then you can start to train your brain to say, ooh, I'm feeling like that. I know what I need. And you get to support yourself instead of pushing through, instead of forcing yourself, instead of saying, I'll get to it at the end of the day. Instead, you stop, you give yourself permission, and you do it. And you know something? One day you'll sit and realize, you know what? I'm actually really enjoying this process. Things are getting easier. I'm smiling more. I feel good at the end of the day. And this shit is actually starting to work. I mentioned Auraline earlier in this episode, which is a mastermind for women that are right on the verge of a shift in their business. They often say things like, I'm ready to figure out what's next. Tell me what to do and I will do it. Because it's never that they can't and don't want to do the work. It's just that there's so many things spinning around in their head, they need a place to bounce ideas around. Help them simplify and focus on what to do next. And then someone to help them stay on track when their brain wants to bounce them around a little. If that sounds like you, or it's piqued your interest a little, you can go to lauraora.com/mastermind to learn more or get enrolled today. You can also shoot me a message on social if you're feeling kind of curious and have some questions. You can find me on all the platforms using @thatlauraora. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.